every Saturday from 8 p.m.
So yes, man, we have a legend in the building tonight. Yeah, man, we're very excited for having Mr. Kevin Lyttle with us tonight, man. So before we come on, listen.
Hey, girl. It's a secret. A secret kiss is the sweetest kiss. A secret touch is the sweetest touch. A secret wine is the sweetest wine. And if you don't believe me, then you gotta try. Undercover love, I got an undercover girlfriend. Undercover love, girl, find an undercover boyfriend. Undercover love, I got an undercover girlfriend. Undercover love, girl, find an undercover boyfriend. Yeah, yeah. She look good and she waistline rolling. Look, she there, right there, winding up in front of me. Love how she make it go round and round. The wickedest waistline spotted. Look it there, right there, look it right over there. I could do it some of that, so I pull up, but it hypnotize me. My girl, when you get that wine, you're supposed to come with a caution. Check, let's go. Yeah, yeah.
Listen!
Yeah, yeah.
Listen, focus, baby! Our very own Mr. Kevin!
She look good and she waistline rolling. Look, she there, right there, winding up in front of me. Love how she make it go round and round. The wickedest waistline spotted. Look at
On the shop the tape before the man come on, man.
body. I could do it some of that, so I pull up, but it hypnotize me. My girl, when you get that wine, you're supposed to come with a caution sign. A sign that say, please beware of wine. When you get that wine, you're supposed to come with a caution sign. A sign that say, please beware of wine. Or wine at your own risk. Girl, your waistline, hold me, hold me, hold me, hold me. Hold me, mind, body, and soul. Have me under control. Girl, your waistline, hold me, hold me, hold me, hold me. Hold me, mind, body, and soul. Check, let's go. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Listen, focus!
Good and she waistline rolling. Look, she there, right there, winding up in front of me. Love how she make it go round and round. The wickedest waistline spotted. Look it there, right there, look it right over there. I could do it some of that, so I pull up, but it hypnotize me. My girl, when you get that wine, you're supposed to come with a caution sign. A sign that say, please beware of wine. When you get that wine, you're supposed to come with a caution sign.
You're inside Vincy Live. Every Saturday from 8 p.m.
Girl, your waistline, hold me, hold me, hold me, hold me. Hold me, mind, body, and soul.
I tell you, man!
Have me under control.
Mr. Lyttle coming out shortly.
Hold me, hold me, hold
In
me,
the meantime, all the shop the thing.
and soul. Have me under
It's Galo!
You're just wicked. It's obvious.
Marcia!
You know that you're always dangerous, but you're moving as if
You're inside Vincy Live. Every Saturday from 8 p.m.
Yes. We're sticking again. We're not sticking. Please help me welcome a superstar, soca superstar, man. The man won the biggest song in the world, Mr. Kevin Lyttle.
You hearing me good?
Yes, boss. Everything nice.
All
Everything
right.
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, just outlining with friends and things. So I had to take some time away to do this with you guys. How you doing?
Everything is good. Everything blessed, man. Everything blessed.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. So before we start, I just want to take time out to thank you and your team for giving us tonight, man. Your time. I know you're busy, but we appreciate you, man.
Yeah, man. No problem. You're welcome.
Yeah. So we have people from all over the world watching us tonight, man. So tell us what part of St. Vincent you're from, man.
I'm from Kingston, St. Vincent.
Nice.
Yeah.
What part of Kingston?
Lodge Village, Block 2000, Montrose, Old Montrose. It's kind of encompass. I'm kind of in the middle of all of that. Lodge Village, Old Montrose, New Montrose. I'm kind of in the middle of the triangle between those two places.
Nice, nice, nice. Before we get into the music, man, besides music, what you into, man? I know he's a businessman too, you know. So just tell us a
Yeah.
little. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm into a lot of different things, man. I mean, I love technology, so I have like a lot of gadgets, a lot of devices and stuff like that. I have like about 4 phones, I have foldable phones, iPhones, Android phones, and then yeah, I'm into my entertainment. I'm a singer, songwriter. So, I love writing music. I love making the songs and stuff like that. I love being in the studio. But, from right now too, I also love business. I love investing and expanding myself into different horizons, So, like right now I have Von Zoo, which is the food delivery platform in St. Vincent, which right now is expanding itself into other services like rideshare and pharmaceutical delivery, grocery delivery, and stuff like that. So, I'm very much into a lot of different things.
Yeah, that's good, man. Yeah, man. That's a good look, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, man. So yeah, man. So I wanna know how you guys started in singing.
Uh, well, I from a little kid, I've always loved to sing. I got started really just at home. First of all, I was just loving music and singing along with the radio and singing songs every day. And they love my voice. And then I got involved with a performing arts dance group that I was with my uncles in St. Vincent. And that brought me to the point where I had the opportunity to get on stage and actually perform at a lot of major functions in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, doing cover songs, performing with bands, etc. And that pivoted me into recording my hit song Turn Me On years after and becoming the person that I am today. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yes, yes. So who influenced you? Like who the post you look up to and say, boy, I want to be a singer like that man, boy. Who's that
I,
person?
like Michael Jackson, Stevie Wonder, the people that did the hard stuff when it came to singing, Brian McKnight, Boys to Men, Joe, so yeah, those were my like goal to reach that type of heights. Yeah.
I think you reach it because when you released the CD Turn Me On, man, that was massive,
Mhm.
massive worldwide. So I think your dream
Yeah.
come true, man. Your dream-
Yeah, still is on to today, believe it or not, man. Yeah, we still the number one record in London, all over the world. My song keeps playing, and it's such a humbling thing to be 25, 24 years in and have the number one song in the genre of soca still, and still one of the 5 years ago the number one dance song of the millennium. Still getting platinum plaques and gold plaques and selling all over the world still. So, it's really a blessing and a humbling uh, situation to be in.
but how you feel? Okay, like me, when I talk to people and say, well, Kevin from St. Vincent, and they ask the
Yeah,
population, people cannot
yeah,
believe they say 100,000 people on all I want the biggest song in the world.
yeah,
So
man,
as
yeah.
the artist, how that make you feel?
I mean, it's very humbling, because of my personality and the way I was raised. It's something that makes me wanna, instead of go rah rah rah, beat my chest and be like, I wanna just humble myself and give thanks, because the thing is about life is that arrogance and too much, you know, it leads you into falling off the ladder. So I try my best to be humble, be nice to people, and just be thankful for what I have, and try to build myself in a way that is and I'm not saying that I am not pushy or aggressive, but I am also very nice but I'm not timid. You know what I'm saying? I try to be a humble person, but I'm not timid. You know,
And,
so they're kind of in the middle.
that's the Vincy way, man. That's the
Yeah,
Vincy way.
yeah,
Yeah, I see my Jamaican friend say I'm still number one in Jamaica, man.
yeah. Thank you, man. Thank you. Yo, you know
Yeah.
that song I did with Spragga Benz last drop was number one in Jamaica for weeks, bro. Shout out Spragga Benz to my Jamaican massive listening, you know?
Yeah, that was another big song off of the album too. A lot of people do not know that, but that was a real big song too, man.
Yeah, no, it was big. It was big worldwide too. It got a lot of love. Every time I perform, people want me to perform that song. And another song for me that's really popular internationally is Losing Control,
Oh, nice.
which was a song I released the same year I released Home for Carnival.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Home for
Yeah.
Carnival is a big song, man. Some most
Hmm.
people, a lot of people will say Home for Carnival is your better song, is your best song. What do you think about that?
That's a Vincy thing. It's a Vincy thing. St. Vincent says that all the time. The reason they say that is that because I became so big right out the box, you know, I was gone. I did Turn Me On. And then next year I did Call Me. The next year I did Last Drop, which were two big records in soca. And then by 2003, I was signed, and they started saying I forgot about the Caribbean and I ain't releasing nothing for we people. And, you know, I'm international and I ain't studying soca no more. And, you know, it was a kind of, it was a ticklish situation for me because at the time, you know, soca music in itself was not as established as a genre as well as it is now, even though it's not established internationally as a well recognized genre. It was not even close to what it is now. And, you know, the soca people were very sensitive. In one breath, they were saying, yo, Kevin Little is singing dancehall and took soca to dancehall, and they were mad about that. And then they were saying, oh, Kevin Little, leave we out, and he ain't singing no soca for we in the Caribbean. He ain't singing our thing. So that is how Home for Carnival came about. And it brought me that love from the local people. They felt like, yeah, well, he home now, he back. He come back home. So that is why now they say, oh, Home for Carnival is a song because they feel like it connect on the ground. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah.
you know, I was kind of in a limbo space between international and home. You know, it was kind of a real tough position to be in back in those days, you know?
I know. Hold on 1 minute.
Yeah.
Ah, yeah, yeah.
Yes, this is how we're speaking about right about now.
Yeah, man.
It's long time I've been away and I miss me carnival. So this year I'm on a plane heading to me festival. Vincy Mas, I love you. I can't do without ya. For you there's a special place inside my heart. I'm coming from Mass and fun in the July sun. Cause I can't miss the festival again. I'm coming home for carnival. Tell them I can't miss the festival again. I'm coming home for carnival. Home for carnival. Let them know.
You're inside Vincy Live. Every Saturday from 8 p.m.
Yes, man, we speaking with the super. It's time we say King Kevin. I think we should say King. The
Yeah,
man doing
man.
big things. But do you think you get the recognition that you deserve? Because since Turn Me On, everybody trying to get a next Turn Me On record, man, and nobody
Yeah.
can do it up to now. Do you think you get enough recognition and respect from our people?
Um, you know, I don't look at it that way, you know. I mean, I want the love from my people holistically, but the truth is that as an artist, you're always gonna get the people who are gonna say, oh, they don't like you or they don't like your song. When you're a person that's in the public eye like that, it's gonna be the people who just watch you and don't like you or just watch you and feel like say, yo, you're not their cup of tea. You know, and every artist situation is different, everybody has their scenario that worked out for them or worked for them in the way that their success happened for them in the music industry. Because at the end of the day, the music industry is like winning the lottery, you know?
Yep.
And, there's some people, most people who win the music lottery usually lose all their money after the fame is gone. Thankfully, knock on wood, I'm one of those who was able to keep my revenue running and own a lot of my stuff. And I'm in a position where I have a lot of leverage with my business. Um, and so hence I'm not, I have a different perspective on the way that I think about my success and what I need to validate myself as an successful person in the music industry, because that as well has changed. It's not just about you having a whole concert to perform. It's whether or not you have the residuals, the ability to literally uh, keep residual revenue running and be able to grow yourself and invest and make yourself like, per se, like a Jay-Z, or you know um let's say a Puffy, who basically expanded themselves into a lot of different businesses. So that's what I measure myself to. So I'm not looking at it from the audience perspective, where I'm looking at if a particular group of people hate me or don't like me. And they say too, no news is bad news when you're in the entertainment industry, really, because once people talking about you, it's good for your brand. Your brand keeps rotating. People keep knowing that you're there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
tell us one the best advice somebody gave to you.
Hmm. I think one of the best advice I had was from Aro. Aro always told me, look for your publishing, make sure you keep your percentages on your music and get your residual income, which was something I knew already, but I was very pleasantly surprised to hear that from him. And the way that he would always come and advise me and try to tell me, to do stuff with my money and invest and expand myself. And you know what I'm saying? So he's gone now, but big up to Arrow.
Nice. So what
Yeah.
advice you would give to a young artist who coming into the business?
Well, I always say learn the business. It is a business. You're coming into the business. Music is a business, and most artists think of it as a chance to become famous, and they think that the money will just flow. But the truth of the matter is, you have to understand the business and know what revenue needs to be yours and what revenue you need to negotiate and share with other people, and understand how to protect yourself for the long haul. Because at the end of the day, I'm very happy that I did things the way that I did, because now I own one of the biggest records ever in the world in terms of club and party music, even in R&B and pop music, because my song plays in all these different settings. It plays in slow music, it plays in fast music, it plays in the clubs, which is its highest place that you would hear it, and it plays at any party, any function. So if I had not known what was mine and didn't understand the business of music, today I might have had to be being on stage every day to make my money. And if you are an experienced artist, you understand how frustrating that is. Yeah, you have people like James Brown and stuff who lost all their publishing and stuff and sold their publishing, and they had to be, when the money run out, because some artists' lifestyle is, yo, I'm gonna buy a $10 million house. A $10 million house is gonna cost you hundreds of thousands of dollars a month in mortgage. You know what I'm saying? By the time you look, the maybe $5, $10 million in cash you have is gone, and you still ain't pay for that house because you're still paying for interest. You know what I'm saying? So the truth is that I was lucky to understand how money works and know that the long haul money, the money that you make when you're sleeping is what is important, not the get up and jump up and down on stage like you're on display all the time. Because that gets frustrating, bro. Like, to be honest with you, and for all the artists out there, being able to go on stage all the time is not where it's at. Why you think right now artists do tours? They do tours at a certain time and they stop. Because when you get to that position where you can do tours and just stop and not have to worry about money, that's what you want to be. But if you have to be all year trying to struggle for that money, it's like you're working a 9 to 5 and you're always on stage, you're always at the mercy of the crowd. You know, people out, everybody want pictures, everybody want a piece of you. It becomes very frustrating and very daunting. That's why a lot of musicians, in the past have killed themselves too, because it's very mentally taxing too.
Yeah. So for the
Yeah.
younger artists, what the man basically saying, make a good catalog. That's so that you don't have to be
Well,
working every day. You
or
know.
make sure you own your music. Make sure you own your catalog. That's what I'm basically saying. Make sure you own your catalog. If you don't have ownership in your music, and I don't say you have to own all, but you need to own some. Because look at Mozart. Y'all don't hear Mozart saying none, but Mozart is making bank all the time. Mozart is making so much money. Mozart don't even need to do nothing. Mozart just
Yes.
Mazat is investing. He's doing things, and he have a drink, then he have a this, and he owns a small part of Turn Me On.
so
You
so
understand?
so
So
if Maz not doing well and you own the song,
you understand what I'm saying? So I mean, I'm just saying that to draw an example. You don't need to own all. You just need to own enough that you're making residuals off of your music, and you'll be surprised at what you can do. You know what I'm saying? I'm big up Mazat, my brother. You know what I mean?
yeah, man. So Kevin, who wrote that song? Turn Me On.
I did.
You did? Oh, nice.
That's why I own it.
And then Mazat did his part in it too.
Yeah,
Nice.
I even wrote some of Mazat's parts. The intro and some of the things that he said, I had a big part in it.
Yeah, nice. You know one thing I learned about you? I never knew you could freestyle. I was watching an interview with you and Scorpion, and I was
Oh,
shocked.
okay.
Why you don't do that more often? Because I think that's really, really cool to see you do some freestyle, man. And you're very good at it too.
Yeah, the opportunity doesn't arise, because what happens is like you find that you're in scenarios sometimes where people are scared to even give you a chance around them because I'm world known, right? And it's like people want to prove that they're better than you all the time too. That's why I keep quiet, and sometimes you would hear me come out of my shell and really show my talent and the things that I'm capable of. And then sometimes the situations just don't work out. You know what I mean? I just keep cool because my work is there and I have a lot of business acumen around and control around my work. So, I'm not struggling for the public's approval and to get the public to say, oh, Kevin Little could do this or he could do that. I've done it. You know what I mean? And I'm not just trying to be arrogant, but it's there. It's done.
The numbers speak for itself, man.
And I'm trying to grow. I'm older and I'm growing. I'm expanding into other things, not just music. And that's what a lot of artists from even before that are here longer than me are missing too. Like you gotta expand yourself. You gotta be more than just music. You gotta give back to your society and build things that help the place that you come from and be involved in growing your country or your home or your tongue and building other things besides just entertainment.
Yes, man, because
Mhm.
entertainment is it could be popular today and tomorrow nobody wanna hear from you, man.
Exactly, exactly. There's
Yeah.
a chosen few like myself who may be lucky to have to have had the knowledge at the time to get themselves in a position where they're making bank from their music no matter what. But most artists, 99% of artists aren't like that.
Yeah.
99%.
Wow. So
Mm-hmm.
people here told me on big. Like tell us like some
Mm.
numbers, like how much records you sold and stuff like that. What that's not the idea.
I have a lot of platinum plaques and gold and silvers from all over the world. But back in 2004, Turn Me On was already at 7 million records worldwide, between album physicals and digital sales. Right. So now you could imagine, Turn Me On at its minimum probably sells like 10,000, equivalent in streams of 10,000 records per month. That's at a minimum. And then you have placements in movies and all this stuff. It's it is what it is, man.
It's a monster, man. Turn me
Mm.
on. Yeah, it keeps giving, man. And a lot of big artists do covers for Turn Me On too, right? They do
Yep,
it.
yep. You got Chris Brown, you got Cheat Codes. As a matter of fact, my cover for the Cheat Codes records, they did a song called Let Me Hold You, which is literally Turn Me On. They just used the Let Me Hold You part of the chorus as the name of the song and did it in dance music. And it catapulted them to the point where they did records with some of the biggest stars in America, because it was almost at 1 billion streams when it dropped on Spotify.
Wow, it must have billion streams. That's crazy numbers, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
that's a remake. There's a Chris Brown version that was at like 700 million or some stuff like that. And there's the original that's probably at like 300 million, because the original came out before you had Spotify, before you had YouTube, before Apple Music, so you understand.
Yeah, man, it's big, man. Because when it released in Toronto, man, it even made the news that they had helicopters going from malls to malls, showing the lines around the malls, buying the record, man. That was crazy.
Oh wow, that I didn't even know that.
You didn't know that? Yeah,
Yeah, it
man.
was
Yeah,
it
man.
was crazy. That record sold millions upon millions of records, and not just in America. I have records that are big in different countries in the world. I got the Fire album, which was a huge album in Japan and in Europe. I've got that song "Losing Control," which was released the same time as "Home for Carnival," which was big in the Caribbean. Huge record in Sweden. Every time I go to Sweden, they request that record, because it's like that is my number one record in Sweden and Norway and those places. So there's there's a lot that music has done for me, and my career is different. No one artist is the same in terms of how their success worked.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So give us the concept, like how you come up with the song, the concept for Turn Me On.
Turn Me On. I wrote that song. There's this 112 song called All My Love. So shout out my friends from the group 112. Slim, Mike, Deron. Um, and I love that record. I used to love those albums because I was with a group in the beginning called Suede. When I was like 17, 18, when these guys were out. And, we had the most popular boy band in St. Vincent at the time, me and my friends in high school. Shout out Duane, shout out Bailey, shout out Sean Sutherland, Kenny Miller, Hensley, Sheldon Wood, Gary Comerbash. We all had this group called Suede, and we used to love all these R&B records from Boyz II Men to 112. And there was this 112 record that I always would sing called All My Love, because I just loved the vibe of it, the sexiness of it. And, I actually got to meet these guys too, which was pretty incredible for me. And they really showed me a lot of love, because they felt like, yo, what I did with the record was incredible, because it was an album track on their album. It was not a record that they were expecting to make anything off of in the future, because it was just one of their fillers on their albums. But I absolutely love the record, and I came up with an interpolation, because I heard all the dancehall artists, from Sanchez to Barris to my boy Singer Melody and Barrington Levy. They would do over people's songs in reggae. And then Madzat the year before, or a few years before, did did over Cisco's song Thong Song, and did Let We March Downtown. So I was like, yo, let me take a R&B song and make it into a soca song. And I want to do something crossover. And that's what I did with Turn Me On. You know, I took that melody and I rewrote the song to suit soca and dancehall as to what we experience in the Caribbean. So I created a whole nother song, which is an interpolation of their original song, which was written by Pooh Bear as well. So shout out the big songwriter Pooh Bear, who's also my brethren, who was the writer on the original song from 112 and is also a named writer and owns a percentage on Turn Me On as well. Um, and the rest was history. I rewrote the song. At the time when I wrote the song, I was singing it for everybody. The first time I sang it was to my girlfriend at the time. Her name was she was singing calypso. Her name was Angel, and she said to me, "Sing the song from you up in a party instead of you," because I sang it more like a love song. And the truth is, it was only two lines I had to change to bring it to being in a party. So I changed the first line as, "For the longest time we jamming in the party and you're whining on me, pushing," and that's how that came about. You know, and the rest was history.
Yeah,
And that is basically the story of how Turn Me On was done.
I know. But why do you
Mm.
think "Turn Me On" is a funny song? A lot of people love it, and a lot of people just just have issues with that song, man. Because when it was popular in Toronto, man, a lot of people was mad that Vincy have a big song like that. A lot of people was mad, man, from the
Yeah.
Caribbean.
Well, it was different, man. Nobody expected anybody from St. Vincent to have a voice like mine, first of all. Because even in St. Vincent, people were saying, yo, it sound like Barry Salmon singing soca. And I would go to people and be like, yo, I sing that song, that's my song, that's my song. And then like I went to a van conductor one time and say, yo, that's my song, because I see him bobbing his head to it. And he was like, when he see who sing this song now, man watch me from head to toe and was like, yeah, it's all right.
All of a all of a sudden, that's all right.
All of a sudden his energy changed, and this is how people are. This is just human nature.
Mm,
A lot of people just can't they can't be happy for you because you're doing something that they believe that they can't do, and they look upon you like you lucky boy, or you 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 don't even know what you're doing, you don't even know what you did, and you have that and you have succeeded at that, or they don't understand how you were able to do that, and that's the kind of vibe you get because a lot of we're human beings, and a lot of people put their insecurities on people who are doing the things that they don't think that they can be successful at,
yeah,
so it is the way that it is. I mean, you successful as a DJ, there's probably people around you and you've experienced this that would say, yo, how you manage to do that, or watch for you and like, yo, who he think he is,
yeah.
it is. And then there's people who would just watch and say, yo, I hate his voice. I don't like his voice. Because again, they don't understand how I could sound like that, or they feel like a man shouldn't sound like that, or the people have their insecurities and their hang-ups about things in life, and you just gotta understand as an individual that we all have our separate roads to walk, and the road that you would be able to walk, other people won't be able to walk it, or it wouldn't be your road,
Facts, facts.
right?
Somebody, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, man.
Somebody's asked me why I say that. Mad for what? The reason why I say that, right? One of the biggest DJ in Toronto, he was in a position to post the song. He never did. And couple years, he say his biggest regret, he did not push your song. That's why he said, because he know
Yeah.
he was trying to fight down this song, but it was bigger than him, man.
Yeah, but I mean, yo, this is the thing about life. People have to make their mistakes and learn, and there's nothing you could do about that. Like me, I've made tons of mistakes. I could look back and say, if I was like so and so, and if my manager did so and so, and if I didn't do so and so with so and so, and that. But the truth is, your road is your road. and you crossed it, you walked it, and it brought you to where you are. Your trials and your tribulations and your mistakes along the road were only for you to make to get you to the position where you are in life today, because knowledge does not come without you having pitfalls and stumbles and mistakes. You have to make mistakes to learn, and you have to accept that and realize that your mistakes are what make you knowledgeable. Your mistakes are what give you experience and put you in a position of leverage in life, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, man. You must make mistake to get better, man. No mistake,
exactly.
it stays
Yeah, man.
stagnant. Yeah, man. So another thing some people had issue with was the video. Like as an artist, how much control input you have like in a video, like, when you sign with a big
Mm.
label.
Well, the problem is, the record label, that record, the video for that record was $150,000 USD. Now let's put that into perspective at that time. You know, you have to multiply that by literally three when you put it in St. Vincent. So you're looking at basically a 500,000 EC dollar video. Um, Money is money, and when record companies invest in you, and me being as green as I am and not having um, people that have the experience of, let's say, somebody who is managing for Puffy or managing for Jay-Z or something like that, um, with me, and having to be one of the first to be in that type of position, especially in soca and from the small island of St. Vincent, um, it was a tough position to be in. I didn't know my foot from my tail. All I know is that I basically know that I own my publishing for my record, and I'm going to get residual income. And that was my most important thing at the time, because in terms of negotiating business, I've never been in that situation. One of my regrets, which if I if I did know it at the time, it might have caused me to fail, was that I didn't, instead of going to four technical in school, in grammar school, I should have gone to full business. Because at the end of the day, every single thing in life, every single kind of job, business in life is about business. So whether you want to be a scientist or you want to be a technician, it's better you go and do business. I would tell all my friends in grammar school now, or all the students in grammar school, to, if they could do business as well, go and do business first. Because anything else you want to do, if you know business, it will help you. But it goes back, and why I say that it might have caused my failure, it goes back to the fact that the road that I was meant to walk, if I had known business the way that I know it now, I may have I may have totally destroyed the situation that I was able to step into with Atlantic Records and get to where I got to, right? And coming to the point of the music video, which the question was not totally answered. Um, when that music video was being shot, you have to understand that are you there? You still hearing me?
Yeah, man, I hearing
Because
you.
I
We listening.
lost you.
Now I hearing you. I hearing you. We listening. You hear me?
Hello?
Yeah, yeah. You not hear me? Hello?
Everybody could see me. Somebody send up a message. Let me know if y'all are
We s-
seeing me.
we seeing you. We seeing you. You guys go ahead, Kevin.
Okay, it says on my side that everyone could see and hear me, so I'll
Yeah, we good.
continue
We
to
good.
make my point in the meantime. So, yeah, okay, you're back.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, I wasn't hearing you for a while there. I'm now hearing you actually.
That's
Okay,
cool.
so now I was saying that that situation with the music video. Remember, this is my first time. I was a customs officer, and I've been thrown in a space of 3 years in front of major corporations in America. I got Warner Brothers and Atlantic Records sign me. I got this big record deal, 100 and something thousand dollars spent on a music video. And here's the kicker. We fly to Toronto to shoot the video with Little X in a huge ass warehouse in Toronto. We land, we walk in the hotel, and the electricity goes. Bram, the whole of Toronto is blocked out. We check what's going on. We find out the whole of the eastern United States from Toronto all the way down is in total darkness. So now we are in this place trying to shoot a video because we have the deadline. We have to get the video shot still because the electricity will come back on, but we can't find no Vincy flags. We only find like three Vincy flags because in those days, back in 2004, remember all these small islands, we weren't the biggest thing in soca. The biggest thing was Trinidad, and you have Byron Lee with and the Dragonaires with Jamaica. You understand? So
Yes.
right now we at a disadvantage when it comes to merchandise to represent our islands. All you're finding is everybody's flag from Puerto Rico to the Virgin Islands to everybody else. You find more of their flags than you find the Lesser Antilles. So we're in a position now we have to get the video done because the label has set their deadline. They don't spend their money. So we're in there, and I kid you not, for 48 hours, 2 days shooting this video. We go in the morning and we are there whole day, whole night till the next morning, the next day, the day after. Shooting. Literally, we couldn't find some of the dancers. My manager was the one in the ending with the big costume. My road manager, my stylist, they were all tripping in to be a part of the video, to get the video done. So, it was a very, very tedious situation that I had really not any control over with the flags, with all the situations that happened around that video. It was just act of God and all these other things that really put me in a bad position.
Yeah. It was unfair, man. I didn't really see the big fuss about it, but
Mhm.
some people was really mad about it, man.
Yeah, boy, but it ain't like, the Vincentian people need to be proud because before Rihanna was Kevin Little. You know, I was there with Sean Paul,
Yes.
breaking the boundaries for Caribbean music.
Mm.
That made a way for a lot of other Caribbean stars to be what they are today, and this is something that all Vincentians everywhere need to be proud of because we set a foundation. When I did it, I was the first internet sensation, and that belongs to St. Vincent and the Grenadines. I was the first internet sensation. Turn Me On became big because of the internet, because of Toronto Line, Casa, and Napster, and all these things. There was no YouTube. And all the labels were going, we don't understand this. We don't understand how this song's so big. People got fired at Sony Music because Atlantic got to sign Kevin Little, and they didn't give Kevin Little what he needed
Mm.
for
Wow.
them to sign me. So, you got to understand that, yo, it was a pivotal time in the music industry. It's not like now where people could just put on music. If I had turned me on now, yo, you could imagine what my other songs and stuff would have been at the moment right now with social media. Remember when Turn Me On came out, people were like, wait, where's he from? He's from Jamaica. Oh no, he's from America. Oh no, he's from the Virgin Islands. Oh, I hear he from Europe. And this time there's people going and representing and saying they're Kevin Little and singing Turn Me On and getting paid to perform my song as me all over Europe and other places in the world because there was no social media. Nobody could identify me, and I wasn't signed to a label for 2.5 years and had one of the biggest songs in the world,
Wow.
right?
That's crazy.
Okay. So, just to put it in perspective, St. Vincent has a lot to celebrate when it comes to just the achievements that surround that record and that time and what I did with my music.
Yeah, man. I just
Hmm.
yeah. Well, even now, man. Like last year, I went to a wedding, a mixed wedding, and Told Me On was the
Hmm.
big. That was the biggest song that played the night. see old people, young people, everybody was on the dance floor enjoying themselves to that song, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, so that's good. And in Toronto, like everybody, that song was so big that people walk up to you and say, "Told me on. I went to Africa. Told me on. I went to boat cruise. Told me on." That was, but everybody does want to have a conversation about "Told me on." That was the every topic,
Yeah,
man. Yeah, that was
yeah,
it was yeah,
yeah.
it
But
was.
nobody knew who the hell I was. Nobody saw my face. Because in the first place, I'm not Jamaican. So, Jamaica ain't pushing me because nobody in no neighborhood in Jamaica ain't seeing Kevin Little. Who is this
Right,
Kevin Little? You
right.
know what I mean? Like, literally, back in 2004, when I finally met Sharon Burke, shout out Sharon Burke, who's one of the biggest artists, manager, and agents in Jamaica. She was like, Kevin Little, you know how long me I look for you, Kevin Little? You know how long I want to meet you? She literally took me and she can't drive me around Kingston. I was like, yo, you don't understand, Kevin Little, how we look for you, try to because there was no social media, nobody know who I look like, nobody can reach out to me personally. You
Wow.
understand? I didn't
Yeah.
even understand what I was missing out on not being in Jamaica and going and jumping on rhythms and things like that because things escalated for me so fast from being a young artist in St. Vincent to being a huge international hit. Jumping through Trinidad, jumping through Jamaica Carnival, straight to having tours in Toronto and all the pop clubs and Europe and doing all these major pop clubs in Europe selling them out before I even got signed to Atlantic Records.
Wow.
So and I had nobody know what I look like.
I know. I want to ask a question. Do you think the Caribbean missed an opportunity because there was a lot of fight down? We cannot run away from it. There was a lot of fight down between the islands. A lot of people was mad because you from St. Vincent. Do you think we miss an opportunity like to like come together as one region and push Turn Me On? Would that be better for the
No,
Caribbean?
I mean, people, the naysayers, you always have the naysayers. The biggest artists in the world have the people who are just like, no, we don't like him. No, we don't want to hear his music. Like, even me, I have artists, I'd be like, yo, I don't like that song, or I'm in the mood, I don't want to hear it. You understand? It's human nature. So I'm not knocking anybody. It is what it is. The truth is that there was the people who needed to get behind me got behind me and it became successful because the whole Caribbean got behind me. The whole Caribbean did get behind me. I was touring the whole Caribbean from 2001 to 2003 straight. Every minute I was in a show. And then one point it was me and Super P. 2003, 2004, before I got signed, boy, it was me and Super P everywhere. He would peep in and me would turn me on. We just selling out everywhere throughout the Caribbean.
Nice, nice, nice. So
Yeah,
what
man.
one of your favorite spot to perform? Like when you go to that spot there, you just feel good. Like this is home.
I don't really have one, man.
You
Like,
know? No?
you get different type of love, different places. One of my favorite places I would say is Japan, bro. Like, yo, like they go in for me. Europe as well, they go crazy for me. Their support never dies. And similar with Toronto and places like that, they absolutely love me. And my Caribbean people same way. It's just a different experience in different places.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Nice. So if there's an artist out there you would like to do a collaborate, who that would be?
Um, wow. Now at this time in my life, I would say like to sit down and say I actually work with Stevie Wonder would be a movie. You know what I'm saying for me because Stevie Wonder spans generations and generations upon generations. Stevie Wonder was there when the music industry was not really a business for the artists. It was a business for record labels, not for artists. So Stevie Wonder has seen the full and has gone through it all and knows things and experiences that most of us can't fathom. So that would be my ultimate collaboration.
Yes, Steve. It's always say Steve. You say man see every.
Huh?
No, you see I'm Stephen Wonder C. So I was laughing about that.
Yeah.
So wait, let me play the video and then we come back into the interview. Give me a minute. Let me just play the video one
Yeah.
minute. Yeah.
I gotta run in 5 minutes.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. All right, cool.
All right.
No problem. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, yes, it's a big dancehall song, you know. Dance out alongside Kevin Lyttle. You know it is. You know we go. You know.
For the longest while we're jamming in the party, and you're whining on me, pushing everything. Right back on top of me, yeah. But if you think you're gonna get away from me, you better change your mind. You're going home. You're going home with me tonight. Let me hold you, go caress my body. You got me going crazy. You turn me on. Let me charm you, go right on me. You got me going.
You're inside Vincy Live. Every Saturday from 8 p.m.
Yeah, man. So before you go, any new project coming out?
Yeah, man. Well, yo, drop my brand new tune for them again. The Holio. That's a Vincy Carnival right now on the Red Rum Rhythm. Shout out Problem Child on the writing of that record. That's Problem Child Rhythm Red Rum. So big him up. And yo, that's my song. Hold you. Girl, your waistline, hold me. Hold me. Girl, your waistline, hold me, hold me. Yeah, man. So, I got another record coming with Fire Empress. So shout out my Vincy people and shout out my cousin Bobby. You know, we just call him Killer by nickname. You know, shout out Bobby. He's got a rhythm coming. I got a song on there with Fire Empress. So look out for that on his rhythm coming soon. And yeah, man. I have a record coming with Problem Child as well. That is gonna be ready next week, so I'm gonna be dropping a few records next week for Vincy Mas. All right.
Man. Thanks again on behalf of my whole team. We say thanks for your time. We appreciate working with you. Yeah. So all the best, Mr. Lyttle. Yeah, we're saying all the best. All right then. Thanks again.
All right, I'm back. Yeah, you're back. Yeah, man.
Yeah, yeah. I was saying thanks before you go on behalf of my whole team. We just say thanks for your time and we appreciate it, man.
All right, man. Thank you so much. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thanks everybody to all my fans. Big up and thank you. Enough love. You don't know. Turn me on, turn me on.
All right, brother.
All right, later.
Check. Let's go. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Check.
I must take time out to big up Miss Ann, man.
Yeah, yeah.
Miss Ann of the Freighters. Thanks for hooking up this first, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So we like me tonight. The man could talk, boy.
She look
Big up Kevin one time.
look, she there, right there, winding up and
All the good and support this one here, man.
she making it go round and round. The wickedest waistline spotted. Look at them, right there, look it right over there. I could do it some of that, so I pull up, but it hypnotize me. My girl, when you get that wine, you're supposed to come with a caution sign. A sign that say, please beware of wine. When you get that wine, you're supposed to come with a caution sign. A sign that say, please beware of wine. All wine at your own risk. Girl, your waistline, hold me, hold me, hold me, hold me.
Yes, man, we get cut off. I tell you, we're having some technical difficulties. We're gonna go off and come back on, man.
You're inside Vincy Live.